Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through demystifying the whole website creation process in 2026. Because look, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed just thinking about setting up your own site, you are in the exact right place. We're going to show you just how surprisingly easy it is to build your digital home from absolute scratch, totally skipping the headaches that used to come with it.
So let's just go ahead and bust some major myths right out of the gate. You can officially forget the outdated ideas of needing, deep coding skills or thousands of dollars or weeks of time just to get yourself online. The reality in 2026 is totally different. We're talking zero coding, super budget friendly, and literally ready to launch in just a few hours. You absolutely do not need to be a professional developer with some massive budget to create a truly stunning site today. To keep things really approachable, I've broken this explainer down into 6 simple phases. We'll start with why you actually need a site, move right into planning, look at the tools, discuss content creation, optimize for your audience, and then finally avoid those common beginner mistakes.
All right, phase 1, why you need a website. Because for any small business, freelancer, or creator today, being offline, it's just not an option anymore.
Think about it like this. Your website is literally your hardest working employee. When people hear about your business, the very first thing they're going to do is search for you online. And if you aren't there, well, they might just never trust you. Your website is working 24 hours a day for you. It's showcasing your products, explaining your services, collecting inquiries, and it can even sell for you automatically while you're fast asleep. Most importantly, it builds undeniable trust and credibility, which actually allows even the smallest businesses to compete with the massive players. So now that we've got the why down, let's dive into phase 2, planning your digital home. It's time to lay down the foundational bricks before we actually start building.
Before you buy a single tool or even look at a design, you absolutely have to ask yourself this one crucial question. What do I want this website to actually do? Your answer here dictates absolutely everything else. I mean, are you building a blog to share your knowledge? Maybe a portfolio to show off freelance work? A fully automated online store? If you lock down your exact goal right now, I promise you, every other decision down the line becomes incredibly easy.
Okay, so let's talk about your domain name. This is simply your digital address. Think yourbusiness.com. Because this represents your brand, you really have to choose a name that is clean, short, and highly memorable. You want to make sure it's super easy to spell and obviously relevant to what you do. But whatever you do, please avoid using long, complicated names, random numbers, or unnecessary symbols. You want people to find you without even having to think about it. Moving right along to phase 3, the tools you need. And spoiler alert, technical tools have become so user-friendly in 2026 that the days of needing a computer science degree are completely gone. Now, if your domain name is your address, your web hosting is the actual plot of land your digital home is built on. Without it, no one's visiting your site. You need a reliable plot of land, meaning a good host must guarantee really fast loading speeds, rock-solid security, automatic backups, reliable uptime, and ideally 24/7 customer support. Really, don't skimp here. A slow website will literally drive your visitors away the second they arrive.
The tech side of things is actually just a really straightforward 3-step sequence. First, you secure that hosting. Second, you install a website builder. And frankly, most hosting companies let you install something like WordPress with literally one single click. Builders like WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, or Shopify make the whole thing incredibly beginner-friendly. Finally, step 3, you just apply a professional theme. So instead of designing from scratch, a theme gives you this clean, readable layout that creates a fantastic user experience right out of the box. And once that basic frame is up, you get to customize it. Honestly, this is the fun part. You just drop in your logo, add your business name, set up your brand colors. You're going to want to upload some crisp, professional images and make sure you have your core pages set up. So an about page, a services page, a contact page, and of course, clear product pages if you're selling. Remember, simple, clean layouts almost always perform much better than overly complicated ones.
All right, the technical setup is totally out of the way. Let's move to phase 4, creating your content, and discuss what actually keeps visitors glued to your site. It is such a huge trap for beginners to obsess over their design and totally forget about the actual words on the page. But here's the truth. Content is what actually brings visitors in and builds that trust. You've got to write useful articles, explain your services with absolute crystal clarity, and really answer the common questions your customers are actually asking. Pair all that with high-quality images and you're golden. The more helpful your content is, the more people are going to trust your brand. Into phase 5, optimizing for your audience.
We need to fine-tune your digital home so human beings and search engines actually enjoy interacting with it.
Consider this massive shift. Over 55%, so more than half, of all internet users today are browsing on their smartphones. What does that mean for you? Well, if your font sizes are too small, if your button spacing is kind of weird, or your menu is just clunky on a phone, over half of your audience is going to leave immediately. Having a mobile-friendly site isn't just a nice little bonus anymore. It's absolutely essential for user experience, and it heavily boosts your search rankings.
So, to make sure you're running a fast, easily discoverable site, you've got to hit a few basic optimization checkboxes. First up, speed. Nobody likes waiting for a page to load, right? So compress those large images, get rid of unnecessary plugins, and enable caching. Then, you've got to think about search engine optimization, or SEO, because people need to actually find you on Google. Start using relevant keywords naturally, create really clear page titles, and add internal links between your own pages. SEO is definitely a long-term game, but if you do it right, it literally brings you free traffic for years.
Let's wrap up our structured phases with Phase 6, avoiding common beginner mistakes. We're going to save you precious time and a whole lot of frustration. Let's just map out exactly what happens when you hit these common roadblocks. By the absolute cheapest hosting, you're going to end up with a painfully slow site. Choose a weird, confusing domain name, you become practically impossible to find. Adding a bunch of flashy animations, it just creates a super annoying user experience. Publishing low-quality, rushed content, that directly results in lost trust. And finally, if you just launch it and never update it regularly, you're opening yourself up to massive security risks. Bypass these traps, and I promise you'll be miles ahead of most beginners.
I absolutely love this perspective from our source material. By treating your website as your digital home, you are literally opening your front door to the entire world. In 2026, you don't need to be a programmer. You don't need a huge budget. With the right tools, a really clear purpose, and just a bit of consistent effort, anyone, and I mean anyone, can build a highly professional presence online.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to kind of ponder on. If a 24/7 digital storefront only takes a few short hours to build today, what is honestly stopping you from laying the foundation for your digital home right now? I really hope this explainer empowered you with the exact steps you need to get started. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I honestly can't wait to see what you build.